Well, here we are. Because apparently I'm incapable of not committing regicide, I decide to move out to the country with my beautiful wife, on this beautiful farm, with all these beautiful farm animals, and the beautiful non-farm animals, the beautiful normal-ass animals, and of course my important steed, and the giant sword I made at one point, which I think was normal-sized for a while. And this cave over here, which houses an ancient evil of which I hope never escapes. Of course, I'm sure years from now my daughter will uncover the ancient evil, and then we'll have to travel the world with my big sword in order to stop the danger she has unleashed. I just hope I'm not killed in the whole thing. I don't want to be the starting point to anybody's heroic journey if it means dying. I'd like to be the living starting point, please. Anyway, seems that things have finally calmed down in the intro. So I guess all that's left to do now is start the game proper. We've got only one more world to go, World 10. We've covered everything else, including the special worlds. And since this is the final world in the game, I'm going to be covering every level in it, even the ones I don't like all that much. But there are only 5 levels in it, so it's not actually going to be that long. So let's begin. Alright, so this is one of them missions where you just have to create a whole lot of people. Alright, we gotta find different professions, so first and foremost, who should we make first? Who would be important for colonization? Well, clearly my wife. Alright, good. Guess we'll have a farmer here, even though I should count. Have to have a doctor to give me the news about having a bad case of loving you. A coach? Coach doesn't count, apparently. Okay, what about a professor? There we go, we've got education. Good. You can just go in the trash because apparently you're worthless. Like, he's not even redundant. He's not even an entertainment dude. Also, apparently, superhero's just gonna be law enforcement. You know what, sure, yeah, I'd prefer to have a superhero over the police. And, of course, you gotta have a dad. And, gotta have a mom. Very important for colonization. Gotta have the nuclear family. And a bunch of other weirdos. And, of course, a witch, one of the most important people for colonization. Oh, no! Okay. Apparently, witches, not crucial to colonization. Didn't work at all. I was hoping to bring the Buddha in here, but I guess we can't bring the Buddha in. Can't have that religion. So, yeah, here's a buddy. Everyone loves him. They met him on the road, but they're not going to kill him. Alright, what about a grandma? No? No one likes the grandma? Alright, fine. I'm open to criticism. I guess I'll also remove the coach as well, because I'm running out of space here. Oh, alright, well, I guess since we have a superhero, we don't need a firefighter. That makes sense. Construction worker, because it looks like we have buildings, they're just, you know, in ruins. Alright, that works. Sure, yeah. Other than that one part where a witch came in and turned my wife into a toad, that went pretty well. Exactly as planned. Oh no. Well, looks like similar to that one mission in which we had to send Maxwell through firefighter training, now we gotta do police training. So, what's the most important thing for an officer to have? That's right, a gun. Yeah, that counts as an answer. We'll say it's satire. Alright, now we have to forge evidence. Okay, I'm with you on this one. So, this car ran someone over. You did a crime, you did a murder. No? Alright, well, we'll just leave that there just in case. You know, a little extra evidence won't hurt. Alright, I guess we'll just make a stop sign. There we go. You parked next to a stop sign and had a corpse on your roof. And also, I'd like to point out that your tail light's going to be broken in a couple seconds. Oh, I didn't have to create any more. Whoops. Didn't even realize. Alright, so this one was a pain in the ass, and I went on with this one for a while. So you try to put a knife in the suitcase, and you put a steak on the suitcase. The dog will eat the steak, but that's not actually how you complete the mission. I'm just going to skip to the point where I'm going to put an explosive in the briefcase. And then you put the steak in. I said steak in, not steak on. Oh, apparently that worked. Whatever, sure, yeah. Let's go with that. Alright, so, what'd you find on a crime scene? Well, obviously a corpse. Here we go. Oh no, there's been a murder in addition to this break-in. And, oh no, a big poison! Oh no! Come on, that was a murder weapon! What about a small poison? It's a little more believable, right? No, that wasn't the problem? Just poison's not believable to be on a scene of a crime? What about a gun? Except a gun? Alright, so we need to find one more thing. Obviously, it's the criminal himself. That's right, the criminal's on the crime scene. Ah yes, please peacefully break up the rioters. Alright, so we're gonna give them what they want. Gonna give them socialism. Okay, what about just a socialist? No? Alright, that's understandable. One dude's not gonna help. Okay, what about this tactic? Okay, that one worked on aliens, but not humans. Alright, well, pack, I guess, is the closest thing to the concept of peace, but not close enough. Alright, so I guess I can't, you know, be a good person, which is to be expected in cop training. So let's just create a rainstorm. Let's actually break this up, because as we all know, people will immediately stop fighting for their rights once it starts raining. It's all weather-based, baby. Anyway, this next one is just make school-related stuff, so let's get on that. Gonna make a new book, not some crummy old book, but we're only making the one because we can't afford any more than just one good book. Got a desk, and a chair. I don't think we'll be able to stack this forever. Gonna make a marker. Apparently that doesn't work. Alright, I guess they don't use markers at school, so we'll just use chalk, the thing that definitely still gets used a lot these days. And we'll make a whiteboard, which does work. So yeah, we're going to draw on this whiteboard with a piece of chalk and erase it with a pencil eraser. Yeah, sure, that makes sense, whatever. And an apple. Let's keep those doctors away, or I guess not, the teacher's just going to eat it immediately, whatever. And here's one child to teach. Alright, we did it, mission accomplished. This is honestly one I probably would have skipped, if not for the fact that it was in the final set of levels. Alright, so we got our penultimate level. It's Christmas time, and oh look, there's Santa. Oh no, Santa fucked up. But thankfully, I'm here to pick up where he left off, the fool. So, we've got a small puzzle here. Of course, it is fairly easy. You just have to figure out who lives where based on the clues you get, but they're not complex clues because, of course, this is a game for children, so, you know, they're not going to make a super tough one. And once you've figured out who lives where, you put the corresponding items in their boxes. So, I've already forgotten the children's names, but past me hasn't, so we're gonna get on putting stuff in their stuff. So, gonna give you a snowball. No, put it in here. No, that doesn't count. Oh. Alright, fine, I'll give you a serious toy. Here's a hockey puck. Here's a single puck for your winter sports. Every kid dreams of getting a hockey puck for Christmas. Since you like cowboys, I'll give you a tiny horse, except that actually filled out the meter, so, it took me way too long to give up on giving this kid a tiny horse, but you know what? I feel he deserves the tiny horse. But no, for some reason, you get no space in this one. Anything complex you make will just fill up the meter immediately. That's probably the only reason this is such a high difficulty, because honestly, it's a super easy level. Here's the best instrument, a kazoo. Bet you'll love practicing that. And this is the kid who sucks, so we're gonna give him Spore. No, I meant the game Spore, but I guess giving him a Spore would also, you know, fulfill the requirement, except it doesn't. You cannot give this child a disease for Christmas just because he was naughty. And so, when you complete it, Santa will give you a Starite. I mean, I guess that's not the first thing I wanted, but it does get me out of this stage, so I appreciate it nonetheless. And now, for the final level in the game, featuring Maxwell's doppelganger, which isn't really doing a good job of doppelganging because it looks like original Maxwell. Oh no, not the baby! Oh no, not the man! Oh no! Why are you doing this? Why are you being a jerk? Well, our doppelganger has stolen a whole lot of items, and we need to stop him. We've got to follow the UFO, and there's only one thing we can do. We've got to make our steed. What you're seeing now is my base yak. This is a tiny flying yak. And this is a tiny flying yak that's actually become useful, or you could call it a tiny flying rideable yak. And this is to go even further beyond! What, did you think I was actually going to yell myself? Pfft, no way. I don't have the lungs for that. I would die. And speaking of death, our doppelganger was killed, and the starlight was destroyed. Oh no! So, there's only one solution here. Also, yeah, he's just straight up fucking dead, jeez. And the solution is to make the starlight ourselves. Ta-da! There it is. And so, after we straight up murdered that doppelganger in a fairly easy fight that we can't even lose, we've obtained the final Starlights. And that's Super Scribblenauts. So, hopefully, this necromancing of the puzzle games thread will actually work, because I'm all out of ideas on that front. And man, I really want the puzzle games thread to, have more activity on it. I cannot be like 60% of it. Anyway, as for the game itself, Super Scribblenauts, despite being a kid's game, has a good enough gimmick where it can actually be fun. Even if the puzzles do tend to be easy, there is a lot of creativity going into them, and just the goofy ways that you can go about them end up being really interesting, even if, you could easily solve it. There are dumber ways you can go about doing it. In fact, honestly, I had a lot of complaints about how, there were puzzles that the solutions that I personally made didn't quite work, and it's kind of unfounded, because, well, I thought I was thinking outside the box, but as it turns out, maybe I was thinking outside the box, but that still wasn't the right direction. There was a different box you could think out of that would work. After starting this LP and somewhat recently in the middle of doing it, I watched a TAS of Super Scribblenauts by Chef Steph and Kiwi Sauce. It's extremely good. It's hilarious, and it covers every level in the game, barring the special world levels, but, God. I feel kinda bad now, because just midway through doing this, I just saw a much better run of Super Scribblenauts. If you want a better example of how you can play this game, whoops, I found one. I should have just linked that one all along. Oh darn, heck. Okay, but seriously, it is a really good task, and it is a little less than an hour. The runtime is more than an hour, but keep in mind the credits are very long, as you will no doubt notice here. But yeah, it's a little under an hour, and it is worth watching even if you just watched this, because it comes up with a lot of goofy and creative solutions that I didn't think of. So yeah, clearly I had fun with this, but man, there's still so many other dumb things you could do with this game. Now, in case you actually want to play Scribblenauts yourself, there are actually 2 Scribblenauts games on Steam that are, I'd imagine, more easily, legally available than Super Scribblenauts, because Super Scribblenauts is a bit old by this point, so it's probably fairly hard to find a physical copy, but I believe Scribblenauts Unlimited and the Scribblenauts DC crossover are both on Steam. I've not played either one of those, but I'd imagine they're still really good. Even Scribblenauts 1 was okay. It just kind of suffered from not having enough good ideas that the sequels would implement. And I don't think their puzzles were quite as good. I think this game kinda upped the puzzles, at least in terms of creativity or the way they're set up. think it does better than that. So yeah, provided Unlimited does more of that, I think it'll probably be fine. So if you want to experience it yourself, I'd probably say Unlimited. I don't know how the DC crossover is, but right off the bat, it's slightly more gimmicky and, based on DC properties, so I don't know, you might not want to limit yourself to that, but I don't entirely know myself. But yeah, not too much else to talk about with Scribblenauts. Music's good, visuals are nice, puzzles are neat, I've mentioned that before. Not all of them are the best, but at the very least, most of them are serviceable, if not just really fun. I think the adjective levels could be a bit better. They're usually a little more mundane than just like the action-based levels. I think they did a good job with the action levels in this game. So there's not much else to talk about. The credits still have plenty of life left in them, but I'm gonna sign off here. This has been Super Scribblenauts. I've been Fefner, and I'll see you next time for whatever I do next. And seriously, if you like doing LP stuff, go post in the puzzle games thread. Like a puzzle game and then show it off. Come on, you can do it. I believe in you. Be strong, I shout from the crowd. Be strong!